Today, I remember myself when I was in school and I used to join different groups for every project when I was in that year. And I just did that because I don't know which one. I just never have that friend that I would stick with when I was in high school. And I just try different groups. If it this group with is it this with this group? Is it with this group? And I found nothing. I found no one can actually like, okay, I like it this way. Okay, I like it this way. I haven't found it at that time. But in that moment, I experienced myself to be really good at enjoying the difference between doing with each group because everyone has its own thing. And I'm like, I am blessed with the idea that they let me in. But then, like, okay, what do I know? What do I want? What part do I actually want to play with? And I haven't answered that question even now because I don't have that set a characteristic about human, especially. But it's very different if you talking about like my personal way of doing things. Like this one, this live stream is something that we have quite a bit of innovation here and there based on the time, based on the place, based on the topic that we are doing, based on the how we deliver it, because everything has its own nuance. The topic may change, and I need to speak a lot slower. The topic may change, and I need to be like so energetic and motivated. I don't know if I have done that. But I assume that motivation do need it when the time is asking about it. Like, what is your commitment? How do you actually discipline yourself? But here we are in this time and space. We have tried in our room. We have tried in here in the front porch of my house. And we try in this side if that place is actually really sunny and we can sit there. No, it's not that sunny. A bit cloudy though. And if it's too hot, then we can actually like try somewhere else. I haven't done in public, so I wonder like how I would do it because that has a different kind of pressure because people will watch you and they will see me. Ray, where? Yeah, 나온 거야? Wait a minute. My cats were crying. I think she's still crying. I don't know what's wrong with her. But yeah. So we have tried many different settings to actually do this. So I don't want to be bound by like, okay, this is the setup, this is the space. Because sometimes you have a different nuance that you want to play with. That in itself doesn't fulfill when you are in a studio or somewhere set up for the live stream and you need that like oof to get your curiosity. to get your thing going. And I'm like, that's where we at. And we still like trying, is it this? Is it that? Is it this? I tried to, like the last couple of days, I tried to keep by the script. Not really good at it. I think like I stray away for too long, or maybe the way I deliver it, it's too much gap in between what I want to talk about and when I'm talking about it. Meaning that if I put that schedule in the morning, and by the afternoon I actually need to record, and I'm like, what actually did we write? But then if we keep it like today, because it's really fresh, I'm just like 15 minutes before we live stream, that's how we round it up. And it's pretty fresh, and I think like this is how we need to do it. But then we need to stay on it for like 1 to 2 hours until it finished. And when it's finished, then we can go there, can go to the next thing. But that also has its own flaws, meaning that if I put it like that, then there are things like in the course or maybe something else, I can't put myself in that situation because we need to repeat it for so many times for just to stick to the script and say what else we want to say. Which is like my next point, which is innovation is needed, but sometimes you need to be static about something. So I say it very differently. I think people out there have other way to put it, but I say it's static because it just there. It is there. It is unchanged. You are committed to it and all that stuff. So my point of view is that the grand timeline is still there, meaning that I will do this for 365 days because that's what we have committed. We don't know how we're going to do it for that long, but we will find ways to do it either way, maybe a different way. So the innovation happens in the way you do it. But in the long, big picture agenda that you are, when you do certain things, it's still there. So I'm that type of a person. I'm not like putting things into detail, timeline every single day and all that stuff in order to pre-plan it. Not really good at that. So I'm good at going by my feelings, I think. Intuition is a big part of my life. And I'm a psychic. Everything come by surprises, and that's just been my life. But then this, I think like we have tried 3 days, and it's always like swaying here and there. It never stick, and I'm like, how do I actually stick to the script, not straying so far away? And there's one way that I haven't tried, which is like doing it right after we drafted, and that's what we did today. And it's working pretty well. Not gonna lie. Is it like what we expected? Probably, because we have been trying so many different ways, and I think like this is the way that we want to do it in the future. Draft it and then let's live stream it. I also think about doing a thumbnail, but I don't think we will do that. We will just put it this way, the simplest way. I don't know. Why do I want to do that? I don't know. I am not even a selfie person. Can you imagine that? Being out there, I was so private. I would just never talk to anyone about my stuff. My story is so weird to eventually go out there, be the person who is so seen by the people and watching you for whatever you're talking about. It's a weird concept. I'm a private, never talk to anything about myself. I'm just like in my cocoon, and then suddenly from that cage, I was put out here by my mission, because I'm here to influence people. I'm here to help people, support people. So that's what we are going with. It's been a weird time to actually taking a selfie of ourselves. I mean, like my phone is full of selfies of me because I need to be like just out there and be okay with being seen. But there's nothing wrong with, right, with being seen. People just see you in real life. You are there, you exist. There's nothing wrong with that. But having it to be like, I want to be seen is a lot harder for me. I think like I was in a cocoon stage for quite a while because of that. Because breaking that mindset, breaking that habit, that design is really hard. But that's also like in my design to actually break free from whatever design I'm coming with. And if you see me like from 10 years ago, you will see the different me. Because I'm not this person. I'm not this talkative. I am not this fluent. I'm not this expressive. I'm not this show off person. But I learned to do that because if I ever want to have children, they need to learn how to express themselves. That's the first thing that I knew why I need to break free from being a cocoon self, being a private person. And then if I want to support someone, they need to know how I build my intention. And I need to say what I know. And I need to say what I feel, I experience. That is a show off in its own. No, show off doesn't mean that I have the money and I will show you off. I always have a deep intention between my thing. So I never been the person who will flaunt my wealth to other people. It's just that do not grab my clothes. But yeah, that's just me. So I think like for the last couple of days, I've been thinking about not sharing so many things too stray away, too far from where I am. Meaning that I would still show the real side of my life. It's just that there are some things that will be in my private offer. You need to pay to actually know what that is. But then there are things that I can invite people to learn about, invite people to uh, explore about. I think like that's what we're going for the month of three at least. So I always try to keep the timeline. For the first month, we are just wondering the timing. The second month is more about really getting out there, be visible, and just like doing the live stream itself, doing the real thing. And then the third month is actually getting the structure. I don't know how I'm going to get there. And that's also like the really exciting part because we don't know how we are going to get there. We're just feeling the feeling of the day and see if this way going to stick or is this a one-off thing. So how do you feel about yourself? Well do you know yourself? Do you have this tendency to like you are going back and forth between static. I always say static. I don't know. It's stick in my head. Sticking by the design or going by the script or just like I just do my own thing, whatever that is. And on the day, I'll go by my feeling. So what do you think? What about you? So I'll leave you with that. I'll see you tomorrow.